we are definitely at that point where, first they came for, then they came for, and then I was left. Like that's essentially where we're at. And by that I mean we as citizens that are naturalized citizens here, that were born fucking here, we're the last line of defense against everybody else. And we have such a fucked up immigration system that I don't think people realize what legal and illegal really is when it comes to this. That's what makes it so much harder. There's so much misinformation about it. Temporary status or green card or whatever it may be, like trying to figure all of that stuff out and then understanding that there's no true path to citizenship. And now they're just basically a $5 million gold card to fucking come to America. Like it's being literally sold off to the highest bidder. And this shit is ridiculous to me, but this is where we're at. And like you said, we knew there wasn't a law when the law itself was above it. Like you can't have a law represent the law when it doesn't believe in itself, right? If the police try to police themselves, that person becomes an outcast. If we try to get more reform for police officers, they push back. They got police unions that'll make sure qualified immunity never goes away, and they have this mythologized bullshit ass hero complex. We can't beat that. We can't fight that. So what do? We build our own systems. We build our own protection, self-defense. Like that's the only thing that we can really do to make ourselves protected in what is becoming a police state and a fucking global empire. Like America will fall for what we understand it to be, but the elites, they get to continue running this bit like a plantation, and that's what it's going to end up becoming. And an AI fucking technocratic plantation where the rich, the elite, and the oligarchs are able to just subjugate us. And welcome to late stage capitalism, people.
I'm not saying you're wrong in any way, shape, or form, but
what's up?
We were having this very conversation 10 years ago. Okay, we thought martial law was knocking at our door 10 years ago. I was part of a militia because I believed so hard this theory that martial law was coming and people were going to come hounding me because I said some things on Facebook, and of course this goes down the rabbit hole of what point is it that Facebook becomes your case file, if you would, your jacket, so there's that. But at the same time, you know what? Nothing happened. And I'll be darned if really I'm on their radar. I am not going to live in the fear that I am. Is it possible? Sure. Why not? But in the grand scheme of things, if the name Sabrina Black appears at the top of some list ahead of some real terrorists who have real nuclear missions, I'll be darned. Like, surely our government has better things to do than waste their time on this. Clearly. Now, I'm not saying that they aren't on some agenda right now, right? But the people that they're after are not homegrowns. They are people related to other countries, and it makes you wonder who they are to that country, right? Because that's probably one of the things that's not being asked is like, we're all saying they're criminals and they're here illegally and that's why they're being taken. Nobody's looking any deeper than that, because how many have dared to ask, well, how many of them are actually political refugees here? How many of them are here on asylum that we don't know?
I think two things to your point. One, 10 years ago in 2015, we didn't have what we have here in 2025. This is Trump's second term where he's been able to implement Project 2025, which has been a 40-year agenda, which is now being in place because he's got his people in the administration. This is different than 2017. This is different than really going into 2020 when they thought that the election was stolen. Like this is uncharted territory. I don't disagree that people who have been in this fight for as long as you guys have and as long as I have are tired and feel that we've been seeing this coming forever. But it is here now, though. Like, we can't dismiss it as if well, we saw it coming. Nah,
Yeah.
it is definitely here. And I think the bigger issue is, regardless of what they did to get here or what they're doing while they are here, I'm not saying that they're committing crimes, we still have due process. And the minute we allow them to strip that for immigrants, we allow a justification for them to do it to us. And I think
Oh, absolutely.
that's why we have to be like vanguard. Like, we have to be the ones that fight back and consistently bring out the resistance, because we are screaming at people who are complacent. We're screaming at people who are comfortable. We're screaming at people who believe the system is actually working for them. That is the hardest battle that we're fighting. These people think that this shit works for them. Capitalism is trash.
Or
All right,
people
it
that
is.
are
Yeah,
people
go
that
ahead.
are apathetic,
We're,
people who
we're,
just
we're
feel like that, like they feel so overwhelmed by everything going on. They're like, what can I do? I get that a lot from people. Like they feel so overwhelmed they don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? So
dealing with a lot of types of people who, we come down to, I'm too busy.
yeah, or people are out here trying to survive. They don't have time to
And that's by
protest.
design. But that's by
And
design.
I'm saying that's what the system wants. They want people to be on survival mode. So they don't have time to pay attention to podcasts like this or things in the news or whatever.
They don't listen to podcasts like this because we are lunatics here.
Not anymore.
Did you not get that memo?
And Sabrina, to what you were saying, yeah, I have seen this coming for a long time and have been labeled Kooky Crumpton for a long time for trying to warn my fellow members of the community around here that this is coming. Now, did I know that it was going to be brick by brick, line upon line, precept upon precept? Yeah. Okay, I did. Because it's like, like the Declaration of Independence says, when there's a design that is being evinced, and I could see him laying the groundwork for this way back when. And, me personally, I've been on, a list since 2012, me on that list. Now, like you, all of the, what that happened to me in 2012, when the Department of Homeland Security, they were like, oh, this guy, he's got some opinions over here, and it became real for me. Like, I saw it with my own eyes, and I'm so sorry. There's a whole trend of people who are like into targeted individuals and stuff like this, and I know that there are targeted individuals, and then there are people who are just paranoid. But I had SUVs, I had phone calls, I had I had all of that stuff. Okay, so I'm very well aware that, yeah, little old me, somebody who writes pretty words sometimes, why the fuck would they want to look at me? Why would I even show up on their radar? I get that, until one day I saw that I had showed up on their radar.